You've seen the memes, that spin, the crazy transfer fee, and yeah, all the jokes. But here's something you might not know. The guy everyone laughed at, he didn't disappear. He didn't give up. He actually made one of the most surprising comebacks in football. This is the story of Antony. Not just the player, but the person. What went wrong, and how he quietly found his way back. Back in 2022, Manchester United dropped nearly 95 million euros to sign Antony from Ajax. That's a huge number. People expected magic right away. At first, it looked like a win. He scored in his first 3 games. Fans were excited, but as the season went on, things got bumpy. He was flashy, sure, but critics said he wasn't doing enough of the simple stuff. And then, the spin happened. That 360 move for no reason. It went viral fast. And suddenly, people weren't talking about his football. They were laughing, calling him a TikTok footballer, a showman, a waste of money. And once the internet gives you a label like that, it sticks. In 2023, things got way more serious. Antony was accused of abuse by his ex. United put him on leave. Brazil dropped him too. He said he didn't do it. And after months of investigations, both UK and Brazilian police dropped the case.
Meanwhile, Manchester United winger Antony has been dropped from Brazil's national team following serious allegations of abuse by a former girlfriend. This according to his country's Football Confederation. Antony is being investigated by the Sao Paulo police and the Greater Manchester police for domestic violence. But the 23-year-old took to social media denying the allegations, saying that the relationship was, quote, tumultuous. He insists the accusations are false. Antony will miss Brazil's World Cup qualifying games against Bolivia and Peru as a result of being dropped by the team. Manchester United said it had no comment when contacted by CNN, and Greater Manchester police did not immediately respond to requests for comment.
No charges. But here's the thing. The damage was already done. Online, people had already made up their minds. When he came back to United, he just didn't look like himself. Section 4. This kind of pressure, it hits hard. And with Antony, it showed up everywhere. Not just in his body language, but in the stats too. Between January and May 2024, he went 18 games without a single goal or assist. That's a long time for a forward. His expected goal contribution dropped to just 0.12 per 90 minutes. That was the lowest of any attacker in United's regular squad. There were moments when you could just see it. He hesitated in front of goal, passed when he should have shot, looked unsure, even doing the things that used to come naturally, like taking on defenders. And science backs this up. There's research from the Journal of Sports Psychology that says athletes dealing with off-field stress, legal stuff, media noise, personal trauma, tend to lose sharpness in decision-making and reaction time. Another study, it said that under emotional distress, performance can drop by up to 20%. That's huge. So when we say Antony wasn't the same, it's not just an opinion. There's data, real stuff behind it.
From Antony. No, Doku's right. Doku's absolutely right. Antony just has a kick at him.
Antony's not the first athlete to go through this. Dele Alli had the world at his feet, then disappeared after mental health struggles. Ben Simmons in the NBA went from superstar to constantly criticized. Naomi Osaka, a tennis champion, stepped away from tournaments because of pressure and anxiety. So yeah, what Antony went through, it wasn't just in his head. It was real, and it affects a lot of players more than we realize. In 2025, Antony went on loan to Real Betis. No hype, no noise, just a chance to breathe and reset. And it worked. He kept his head down, trained harder, stayed off social media. The Spanish press didn't chase him. The fans backed him. And coach Manuel Pellegrini gave him exactly what he needed, trust. And on the pitch, he delivered. As of now, he has 9 goals and 5 assists. But it was more than just stats. He created chances. He tracked back. He played smart, team-first football, the kind people thought he couldn't play. Betis pushed toward European spots. And Antony, he became one of their key players, not for the flair, but for the fight. So what really changed at Betis? Tactically, things were simpler. At Manchester United, Antony often stayed wide and isolated, stuck on the wing, waiting for the ball. or even ended up playing as a left back or wing back in some games. But at Betis, under Pellegrini, he was told to cut inside more, to get involved in the build-up, to play like a real part of the attack. He wasn't just waiting to score, he was part of making things happen. And then there's the mental side. The Spanish media, way less harsh. The fans? They didn't care about the memes. They cared that he worked hard. And the coach? Manuel Pellegrini gave him clear instructions and consistent trust. We know his talent. He just needs to play free, Pellegrini said in an interview. And Antony responded. His numbers picked up fast. Goals and assists keep on coming. 1.6 key passes per game, more than double what he had at United. And a pass accuracy near 87%, showing he wasn't just forcing flashy plays, he was being smart. Betis pushed toward European spots. And Antony? He went from that guy who spins to that guy who helps us win. Fans started chanting his name again. There was no sarcasm, just support. And it wasn't just the fans. Inside the dressing room, Antony earned something just as powerful. Respect. Isco, who became one of his closest partners on the pitch, said, "Playing with him is easy. He's got amazing talent." He even joked with the media. "We should crowdfund to keep him at Betis." Other teammates felt the same. Veteran defender Marc Bartra said, "Among the squad, we're willing to do whatever it takes to keep Antony here." It wasn't just about goals or assists anymore. It was about being part of something and being truly valued again. For a player who once felt like an outsider, this kind of support, it mattered. So, it wasn't just a better system. It was a better space, mentally, emotionally, tactically. And in that space, he grew. And now, as of today, Antony might be about to play his final game for Real Betis, in a European final, no less. A UEFA Conference League showdown against Chelsea. No one could have imagined this back when he was getting laughed at online. The future? Still up in the air. Will he return to Manchester United? Will Betis find a way to keep him? Or will some new club step in? Seeing the version of Antony the world almost missed? Nobody knows. But here's what we do know. He's no longer the 95 million euro meme. He's no longer the internet's favorite punchline. He's a player reborn, with his confidence, his rhythm, and his reputation earned back. Whatever comes next, he faces it on his terms now. Because after everything, he didn't just prove something to the world, he proved something to himself. So yeah, this wasn't just a football comeback. It was a story about fighting back when the world thinks you're finished. Antony didn't change who he was. He just stopped trying to prove anything to anyone. And in doing so, he found his game again. It's a reminder for all of us. That low point you're in right now, that label someone gave you, that version of you people laughs at, it doesn't have to be the end. Maybe you don't need to scream to prove them wrong. Maybe you just need time, a better space, and the belief to start again. Antony did. And if he can, so can you. Football's full of moments that go deeper than the score. Because behind every headline in football, there's a story worth hearing. And this is just one of many. So if you love the game beyond just the scoreline, stick around.